Can you hear me? Recording in progress.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy, Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes, and who am I with as always? Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggy. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 234. I didn't see what you titled it, Joseph. What the flock? Welcome, motherfuckers. Did I mention that I'd never heard of the word flock camera until you brought it up on the pod like 2 episodes ago, and then now since you brought it up, it's like that's all I see people bitching about, and like, you know. But it was you bringing it up. Okay, I think that's more me being behind the curve. It's so funny. It's so funny. Just because people in Texas didn't know about Ozempic doesn't mean nobody else did. Fact. Head of the curve, always. How you been? So what is Flock an acronym? Like I really haven't looked. Is it a company, private company? What does it stand FLOCK for the ladies or the cucks? What is it? Did I bring it up? It's that you should hook up in your car and cuck the Flock camera guys. This is fantastic podcasting, y'all. Joseph started it up. He's the one who counts down when to start. How did I ruin it, dude? Oh, they actually can't hear us. I just thought you were like looking for the notes or something. Yo, microphone check 1 2 1 2. Well, since they can't hear us on the live stream, I'll just. Well, I could just cut. I could, since it's the very beginning, we just restart it. Like,
and a lot of things. That's just how we do here, you know? All right. I think, yep, it's good. There it goes. We're good.
I'm going to do the intro again.
Go for it.
What it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy Andrew Schultz, aka Mr. Goody Two Shoes. And who am I with? As always, Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggy. Talk shit or get off the pod, episode 234. What in the mother flock? Welcome, motherfuckers.
Flocka.
Waka flocka
I go
flame.
hard in the motherfucking paint. Leave you stankin'. What the you think? That's a universally loved song. And now Waka Flocka is like a vegan and does all this other stuff. It is
Well,
anti.
I ain't waka flocka flame, but I make 'em do the walk of shame. Meanwhile, I do the strata pride. All my bitches ride or die. Murder, pussy, homicide. Teardrop tat on my dick, but it cheer up real quick.
Jesus Christ. How are you, sir? Good Lord.
That's just goody back in the day. I'm good. How are you?
Living the dream, staying busy. Definitely. It was wild the other day. It's really I'm really glad it's cooling down and it was just 100. So that's
It was over 100 out here all weekend.
really that happens out there.
Yeah,
Oh no,
we've
you
been going
guys
through a heat wave.
heat wave. You got
Yeah,
oceans in the sky and heat waves. But you got those fires. Like, aren't there a couple fires out there right now?
bro. If there's not a fire, something's up. But like, as far as like major like crazy ones like which are inevitable, nothing like that right now, but like except not in California and where I'm at.
Yeah,
But
bunch in
to be
Europe
honest,
and
I haven't really been keeping up on the news like the past few days, but I know like Washington, like this shit was pop, we talked about it.
yeah, we talked about it like episode before last. Nah, man, just been doing good. We for the listeners, I screwed up the audio earlier, and we were talking about how you'd never heard of flock cameras, and now that's all you hear about, and that's
Right.
everybody's bitching about. And there's an
Right,
article.
I
It's the
never
first
even heard.
article.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of that term until you brought it up like 2 episodes ago, at first I thought, is it one of those things where it's like, um, just because I heard it from you now I feel like I hear it all the time, but it's like no, I'm literally just like, it's all over like the social media, it's all over the news, it's like
Yeah,
everywhere. But
and
how did I not ever hear about it up until
because
now?
it was subtly
Like it just everybody like
it
found out about
was
it at the same time.
subtly happening. I was saying I dropped the hot news
Oh,
all the
I think I
time.
was just behind, and you were
No,
just like,
but now it's become like a really big public deal because now that people are more aware of some of the aspects of what they do, the data they keep, how it's being used, which we'll get into. It's a first article. There's just a lot of things that make people uncomfortable about it, to where before they were like, yeah, that would seem great, and now they're like, nah, fuck that. Because the more information that comes out about it, the more concerning I would say it reads bad. The whole thing reads bad.
right
So
when we start looking like a Chinese surveillance state. I
yeah,
think that's when things are
yeah,
maybe just take a second look,
yeah, well,
not with a vlog camera, but
yeah. I've been riding a lot lately, which has been the healthiest shit ever. I'm always at my healthiest when I'm like riding my bike mentally, not just physically, but man, I've been having some wild interactions. I was riding the other day and I've been, getting into like going, and it's been hot. Like, I think 2 weeks ago when I went riding, it felt like it was the heat index said it was like 115 or something. And I was out riding and it was like at like 1:30 in the afternoon. It was crazy. But I had some guy swerve at me the other day in a neighborhood. Um,
what do you mean?
like
Oh,
like I was riding and
on purpose?
yeah, 100%. I was in a neighborhood, and like the neighborhoods I ride in are really nice. I go pretty far. Um, I'm in on the other side. I'm Metroplex area, but I'm riding a good distance. Um, and I make a point to like cut through neighborhoods. I find like ways to work my way through that stuff. You know, growing up in the burbs, you would always like zoom through stuff. So I avoid like really major roads. Like if I would when I would ride from like Lake Gray, like the lake out by us, all the way to like the high school. If I did that huge loop around the town, it's like I'm riding through like Tiburon, and I'm riding through these areas where it's like there's not a lot of traffic. It's uber safe. I'm the scariest person that's in the neighborhood at that moment in time, or at least that's what they think. So I was riding, and I follow the laws. About 99% of the laws I follow. Stop at stop signs, stop at red lights. I'm not like an idiot. I've been hit twice. I'm not fucking around with that. And this guy has a stop sign, and this route I take is nothing. It's a long ass road. It's maybe like 2 miles, but it's everybody yields to me because it's all stop signs through this neighborhood. So it's perfect. And I'm riding, and this dude like sees me, chooses to kind of run the stop sign, and runs and gets right up next to me, and then just swerves at me, man. Like,
What the
and then I
fuck?
get out of the way, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I've been riding for, I have every single day off I've had for like almost a month and a half. At least 2 days a week, I'm out like cycling really far. So it's been good for me. But so now I'm at the point where like this dude couldn't escape me. We're riding in a neighborhood. You can't go 100 through this neighborhood. There's no stop signs. I'm riding, you know, anywhere from 24 to like 30 miles at certain times. Like in an hour and a half, hour 45. So I'm going pretty quick, just about as fast as you can go in the neighborhood for certain sections of it. And then I'm sitting next to this guy at a stoplight. Look, motherfucker, I didn't like really say anything to him, but some crazy, like probably mid 50s, early 60s, like Middle Eastern guy just swerved his car at me while driving. Crazy. In the burbs, in the rich burbs. It's hard out
That's
here.
wild.
Yeah, yeah. And then I was just like, idiot. But then he was like, ha ha, you know, and thought he took off. And then 2 minutes later, he stops at a stoplight. And then I'm like, right next to him. Like, no, I'm not trying to catch you. I'm just riding. But yeah,
Right.
I'm just
Doing what you
fast.
were doing before.
Yeah, like minding my own business. But now he's stuck there sitting at me, waiting for traffic to yield so he can turn right because I'm going straight. And he's just sitting there like, I was like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing?
Crazy.
Uh, yeah, but it's been nice to be out there riding. So mental health, everybody take care of your mental health or do what's good for it. I've put that off for like almost a year. So it's been like not, I'm realizing how bad it was that I wasn't riding when I started riding again. I was like, oh, I have to do this.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually yeah, that's what I hear from people that I know that like are cyclists, you know, like amateur, you know, that like to go cycling or whatever. It's like more of like a necessity thing than
Yeah,
it is like just yeah,
I
it's
don't
like a
know.
form of meditation, I'm sure.
It is and it's interesting
Uh,
because I really
Until
got
until you get swerved at.
well, I really started riding because I rode my bike a lot when I was a kid. And then but it was like BMX and all sorts of
Yeah,
goofy shit, you know, like whatever. And then I remember I really just got into riding when I moved to Austin. Because when I moved to Austin and I was with the Rolls Royce, I didn't have a car when I moved down there. So to like get to
Rolls
work,
Royces are homie, not the
uh,
vehicle.
to get to work, I used to take the bus, which was crazy and a pain in the ass because you had to walk all the way to Lamar, wait for the bus, take me there. So it was like an hour and a half ordeal to go like I don't know 20 blocks. 20 I mean I guess it was off 25th Street and we were 51st and a half. So it was like yeah, like you know, like 25 blocks or some shit. 25 and a half. So then I got a bike and started riding. And then it was out of necessity and then I got more into it. And yeah, man, it was just I don't know. There's just something like really freeing about it. There's like a solitude. It's really like and it's really hard. So when I ride 20 miles away from my house and I have to go back. So it's not just like getting to the destination. It's like you have to turn around and go back. And I go back the way I get there. So there's like a huge hill I get to bomb down the way down there, just jamming out having my cathartic moments, and then the way back, it's like I have to ride all the way up that fucking hill, and it sucks. It's a pain in the ass, and it's like a 15-minute ordeal of just going up this hill that runs for like I don't know 3/4 of a mile through this neighborhood. So I went flying down it in 15 seconds, and it takes me almost 15 minutes to pump all the way up to get out of it. And then once I get past that, that's the hardest part home. But that's maybe a little bit less than halfway back to where I'm going. So it's like if my bike, I had a flat the other day. I had to walk my bike 2 miles to go get it fixed. And I was going to call an Uber, and I was like, no, fuck that. Like, I'm going to walk to this bicycle shop and get my shit fixed. And then I just finished my ride and then went home. It was wonderful. That's when it was 115. So I don't know. Yeah.
Nice.
I get why I want to enter some sort of like amateur race, not to win, just to see how I do. Like
That'd be cool.
next summer, just to like try it the fuck out to see, because I don't have gears. I ride a fixed gear and a freewheel, so I just have one speed that I can really go, and it's one you can't really stop pedaling. So it's like a momentum game. So when I'm going up a hill, if I lose my momentum, it's like I'm literally like it's like it's brutal, but it's a crazy workout, but it's a big pain in the ass. But when you get going really fast, I mean, you can just carry it through for forever. So I'm not one of those dads in spandex. I'm like riding some bike. Most people don't see those out here. So they're like, what the fuck? I took it to the bike shop, and the guy was like, what the fuck? He's like, is this a fixie? I was like, hell yeah, man. He's like, you're wild. I was like, there's no traffic. It's big sidewalks. And I mean, Denver, Austin, those are like fun, but riding your bike in downtown Austin's like pretty dangerous, especially how I do it. So here it's just like, it's so peaceful. It's like I'm not battling. So when that guy did that, I was like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit. You out here, bro? Out here? I'm not even doing anything. I'm minding my own business.
That is wild. You only go one speed, all gas, no brakes. Are you gonna tell that to people when you get to the amateur race? When you get up to the starting line? Just warn y'all, I only got one speed.
Well, depending on what it was, if I had like the equivalent bike that some of those super dads have, I'd probably be flying. Like if I could go up a hill and shift down in my gear ratio and make it easier to get up it, get out of here. Like I don't have a choice. It's just shitty. So that's why I was like, I should get I'm gonna probably buy another bike, like a competition style bike, just to see how far I could go, how
I mean, they
fast.
get crazy, dude. Like, the baby mama's dad, he's like super into cycling. He's multiple accidents, but one of them, his fucking bike was like $20,000, and Vato didn't even have insurance on it. It's like, but one of his homies who was in the cycling pack was like a insurance broker or something, and then they were able to like finagle it to where included in like his homeowner's insurance, so he actually did get it covered. But D like shattered his hip, like it was just like horrific like accident twice.
See, I got hit once in Austin
Got
by
hit by
this.
a car. Oh, I
Uh,
forgot about this. The second time, so that one was like the whole group. Somebody fell and then he fell over them. But one of the times he got hit by this like girl, like a 19-year-old girl.
Recording stopped.
Ooh, says I don't have sufficient space to keep recording. Um, what the see?
Recording in progress.
Okay. So this girl hits him. Sorry, y'all. Like the recording stopped, and then we got it back. So if that sounds like a was like a weird transition, but hits him. Tries to like drive off, but then ends up like pulling over and tried to like commit suicide, end her life in the car before like the cops got there, like on the accident. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy. So when I say hit, I mean I'm referring to cars. So I've been hit twice. I guess technically 3 times. Although that one time I didn't. I guess kind of got clipped. That's whenever there's a really just, oh, this is so like in hindsight traumatic, but I just took it in stride. So I was kicked out of my mom's. I was living with my dad. This was summer of 7th grade going into 8th grade, because you remember I came back just out of the blue. It was like, yo, what up? One day at school, I was like, yeah, I'm back. I was staying at Sticky's and the Humps house, and I wasn't talking to my mom. Their backyards touched. So I was like in town. Nobody in my family knew, but I was staying like one street over. And I was riding a wheelie, a Diamondback GT, doing a wheelie across the street. And I'm like an idiot, but this dude was flying up that hill that's right by Sticky's house, that it turns and goes through the neighborhood. And they were coming up and they like slammed on their brakes, and they kind of like, I guess they kind of clipped the bike, but I crashed hard and slammed my face and like scratched my eyebrow off. I like slid like probably a good, like, I don't know, like 4 feet, something like that, on that shitty ass road in Southridge Lakes, which was like grooved and it wasn't like smooth asphalt. That was the shittiest road ever. Second time was Austin. I got T-boned. I was riding to work, and this old lady, she was like, gotta be early 80s. Her name was Bessie. I'm going, and I'm on the road in the bike lane, and she has like an unprotected turn to get into like her street that she was trying to go to, and she was trying to beat traffic that was coming with me. So she swooped in front of me and just didn't see me. So I was riding and she went boom, and my bike blew up. Um I wasn't like, I had like a concussion. I wasn't knocked out, but there was a period of time where I was just kind of like on the ground, and everybody was like, "Are you okay?" And I just kind of sat up and was like, "What the fuck?" And started picking up my shit. And then the lady, she tried to drive off, and people in the neighborhood like stopped her. And then she stopped, got out of the car. It was this old woman where I was like, oh my God, I felt bad for her. So I was like, are you okay? People were like, bro, what the fuck? And then the ambulance showed up and I got checked out. I didn't take the ambulance, but they chewed me the fuck out because I wasn't wearing a helmet at the time. And where she hit me, so I hit my brakes, because when I looked, she was probably like, I don't know where this wall is to me. There was a moment in time before she hit me where like I saw her, she saw me, because she kind of came out of nowhere. And so I hit my brakes. And when I did, I was trying to like skid out of the way. And when I did, it turned me this way to where I was going to be facing the same direction as her. And she hit me in the back and she slammed my backpack. And on my way to work, I would ride in just like, athletic clothes and change at work to go bartend and stuff. So I had my pants, my shirt, my shoes, my apron. My backpack was like fucking huge back in those days. I was riding around with basically a giant pillow with my bike lock in the center of it. She snapped my bike lock from the impact when she hit me, but it was basically like I just got hit with like a massive pillow on my back. But I dislocated my pelvis and I had to do like PT for like 10 months.
Damn.
Got her insurance company gave your boy a check like 3 years later. But yeah, that shit sucked. And I was like terrified to ride my bike for months. Like the first time I got on it, I was like, oh my God, like this is too much. And then I kind of got the fuck over it.
So, what do you call my homie? Young NBA SoCal?
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah. So he went down to San Diego this weekend. He invited me to go down. It was his buddy's birthday, uh, and his mode of transportation is an electric bike.
Those are
But you can take,
dangerous, bro. Those have given
yeah,
crazy motherfuckers quick mobility. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So you can take the train all the way from here down to San Diego. It's one of my favorite things to do. It takes like 4 hours, but you can he bring your bike on. You like I think you pay an extra like a bike thing, and then there's like a place where you can store it. So he brought his bike with him down to San Diego. Um, and I didn't go. It was like short notice. He told me to, and I was like, I don't know. But hits me up. Uh, someone stole his bike. That's what he told me. He's back in town. He needs a ride to his mom's house. So I go pick him up to give him a ride to his mom's house. It's like a 15-minute, ride. He's got like a fucking band-aid on his forehead, and he got like knocked out, detained by the cops, and then taken to the hospital separately from getting his bike stolen. And then he has like the equivalent of like an air tag like on the bike so he can see where it is. But all of his homies had taken a separate train like earlier in the day, and there was only one train left out of to get back up here um, on Sunday, I guess. And he had a hotel room, but it was over, and so he jumped on the train. And then, anyways, while I was like giving him the ride from his house to his mom's, the San Diego police called him, and he was like giving him like the report and stuff like that. Like, but isn't that insane?
That's crazy, man. Yeah,
And he still has like the keys and stuff for it. So he's like not even he doesn't even know how they like stole it. Like
yeah,
they didn't jack him. Like he has all of his stuff like besides his bike, but then also ended up in the hospital. Oh, he has a fucking fractured vertebrae like I did when I got in the car accident.
damn, bro, they fucked him up.
But no, two different things. Like, and he couldn't explain why, like how he got beat. If it was like either he fell. I don't even know. He told me that Saturday night he was gonna not go out with the homies because he had a raid to do on World of Warcraft that he was gonna set up in the hotel room. And then it's like he got there like Friday night, I guess, and then you're not going out Saturday. All this shit still happened.
That's crazy.
I know, I feel
Maybe
bad.
the homeboys were mad. Maybe the raid didn't go so well. It was a land party. It was a land party, and it
I
didn't go so well for your boy.
No, I met the guy's whose birthday it was. He's like a chill dude.
Well,
Like,
keep your head up, NBA SoCal.
yeah.
Damn, that's
Um,
fucking crazy.
I know. Uh, okay.
Oh wait,
Let
well, hold on. Well, speaking of stolen bikes, so after I got hit, I got part of my check. They gave me a check for my bike first. Then they gave me a check for the crash. And I went and that's when I bought a crazy bike. I loved that bike. And that shit got stolen while I was at work. Someone broke part of the deck. It was nice and flashy as fuck. Someone broke the deck. It was like underneath the stairs. You had to know where it was to steal it. Busted the lock, jacked my bike, took it. 2 weeks later, my homeboy Garrett, shout out Garrett, crazy badass fucking dude. Loved this guy. He was out and he was used to be a boxer and was like, could throw him back. And I just started this job when I got my bike stolen, and he was out and about. And so there's this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's in Austin, black guy. He's deaf, big in the cycling community, and fucking asshole. And he saw him with my bike. He swears to this day it was my bike. He was wasted, and he almost got up got in a fight with this black deaf guy because he swore he was all wasted on rumplements and swore this dude fucking jacked my bike and called me like, I got this motherfucker right here. I was like, nah, man, you're good. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Like crashing out on this. And this guy's like, I'm not going to mimic him, but is this a very fun,
that reminds me.
it's a
Like
very funny phone call.
when I was growing up, every other year we'd either go to Hawaii or we'd rent a beach house in Newport Beach on the beach. And one of the years, our boogie boards were like on the porch and got stolen. And my dad is chilling out at the beach, later that day, like reading a book, and the fucking like four kids are walking uh, you know, like where the ocean, the shore, walking up the shore with our boogie boards. My dad sees it and he just puts his book down, just walks straight up to him, just snatches it out of their hands, and they were like freaked the fuck out, and he like I thought it was like the hardest fucking thing ever, like because like to me it's like they like someone who would steal your boogie boards because I was pretty young at the time. Um,
Like what won't they do?
well, like right, like these are thieves, and my dad just like didn't even give zero, didn't even hesitate, and just fucking got all of them back, like punked all of them.
That's pretty awesome. I still think about a story from that T Stroud told way back in the day from whenever I think we were in like I don't know like seventh or eighth grade, and somebody in the Bahamas or something stole his shoes. This is back when we were all wearing Dada Supreme and we're rocking some pretty wild ratchet shoes, and it was like who could buy the more crazy shoes, the ones with
Not I.
the spinners. Not you. I had some sick ones. I had these like white and navy blue ones. Those were fire. And he had some pretty obscene ones, and he told that some dude like walked up on it. He had them outside, and he said that they had like this big patio with these stairs, and some just like huge black dude from the beach just walked up and like jacked his shoes, and like Travis was like, "Hey," and he was just like, "You can keep those," and just like went back inside. I was like, "Never mind." Uh, yeah, man, that shit gets jacked all the time. It's wild to think about all the things that were stolen by somebody, like as a kid or in your life, and you like don't get them back, or it just doesn't get resolved. You can't like sometimes you can't prove it.
The reverse of this was one of the years at Newport when I was 16 or 17. Our next door neighbors had like a massive cooler. They left it out, and it was completely full of beer. And we went over, grabbed it, and like this beach house that we were at had like a rooftop, and me, my cousin, and my brother just brought it up to the rooftop, and it was like, and we were just chilling, just like sipping on beers for like the rest of the time we were there. But I actually uh, was downstairs, right? I was like still just right outside of my beach house. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and a cop just happened to be walking like by, and he flashes his light at me, and I'm like I'm 17, and I look like an idiot, like quickly put down my to try to hide like the beer can. You know, had I just like played it cool, he like wouldn't have questioned me. And he's like, "Is that yours?" And I go, "No." And he's like, "Yo," like he knew it was mine. He's like, "Why'd you lie to me?" And I ended up getting arrested, and I had to go to the Newport Beach whole like j jail holding cell, and like they put me in like baby blue like fucking like jail scrubs or whatever. And then my dad picked me up the next morning, and they let me wear the jail shit out
Oh
like
damn, you get to
home.
keep it.
Yeah, so then I walk into the beach house in Newport Beach, and like we have like a bunch of family coming over that day. My mom just like looks at me, and it's like and it was crazy because like it felt like I was like gonna be in like so much trouble, but it was like I just it was like whatever, we're on vacation, we kind of knew you were drinking, like you didn't get a ticket, nothing actually ended up happening. And just walked back up to the rooftop, got my bathing suit on, kept the party going. It was awesome.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Newport Beach jail, holding jail, like they had it's just like this wide open area, and then like in like cells, but like that are open, and then the mattresses were just like on the ground.
At least you had mattresses. Denton County, well, Denton City Holding is one of the worst places I've ever been. Denton County are like these little freeze boxes, and there is no. It's just like a bench seat in a circle. It's just like or like a big
No,
a big
I
yeah.
know, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it's fucking freezing. And that was funny because there was like all sorts of wild ass motherfuckers from all walks of life in that room. You're just like, holy shit. And by the end of it, we were all like vibing out and like cracking jokes and shit.
Yeah, I tell a story where I was in a room like that, and this guy was laying when I got in there. It was packed, and but a guy was laying on the bench with using the toilet paper roll as his pillow, and there's people standing up, and I was drunk. I've never been in a jail cell unless I was drunk, and because I was drinking, and thus I don't drink anymore. But no, I just was drunk, and I just walk up and I just slapped his back as hard as I could, and he's like wakes up. He's like, "What the fuck?" I go, "Get up!" And then right then, just like established dominance. Like all of a sudden, I just had like a crew of people like on my side. And then like I got like released with two of them, and they're like, and this is downtown San Diego, and they like think we're like gonna all hang out afterwards. I'm like, nah. Nah, so you guys is like never bye. Like just jumped on the trolley, like. But yeah, it was something I would never do if I was like in my right mind. Like just
Walked
outrageous.
up,
Like
slapped some random man in a jail cell who's
immediately,
asleep.
immediately while it was packed. You know, like he could have already established the dominance, and that's why
That's
he
why
was
he's
able.
laying down. That's why he got the toilet paper
I,
pillow.
I was like, hell no, dude.
Get
Like,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. If anything, it
So
was
did you
just like
sit next to him afterwards?
I got a seat.
And I guess yeah, anybody else who got a seat because of you is like, hell yeah, bro. Hell
Mm,
yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate you. Appreciate you,
exactly.
dog.
Yeah.
That's
It
incredible.
was more of a fairness thing than it was like me trying to like punk them. You know, it was like, look at these dudes, like we're all in jail here, dude. Like let's make it, you know, fuck you for like we all want to lay down.
Yeah. All right. Therapy questions.
Yeah. Therapy question number one: if every historical figure got one podcast episode, who's breaking the internet?
Historical figure got one podcast episode. Who's breaking the internet? I mean, okay. I mean, I think there's a list of people that would break the internet
Obviously.
for like tons, for like a laundry list of different reasons.
I mean, just the fact they're a historical figure that's no longer around, but like take that part out of it. I'm just saying, like, who would be the most like just you know everybody's like there's like a high
Jesus.
floor. I
Jesus.
wouldn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
I
historical.
did think Jesus when I wrote the question, but
But
as soon
I
as I
mean, he
just
doesn't. I
said
don't think
right
that would
now,
qual. That would be. I don't think that qualifies. Um, who?
I don't know. If you read the book Jesus of Nazareth, like I mean, it makes a case for Jesus being real, he was actually like a fucking revolutionary and was down for violence and
Yeah,
all sorts of shit.
maybe MLK would be a good one. Um, any of like the well, specifically if there was like a George Washington or an Abe Lincoln, Napoleon would be fire. A lot of
You gotta think of
people.
somebody who's gonna talk a shit or get off the pod, you know?
Well,
Like
no, but I mean, it's like what they would
who's got
talk
the
about.
gift of gab and the status?
Well, no, but that's what I said. But I'm talking about like these are for like potential good reasons. There's people that would be listened to for bad reasons as well.
Well, no, I'm saying good, but also like fucking entertaining, interesting, like who would peak, like who would just like crush it, be like, holy shit.
JFK, JFK would be good. Think about the stories in that era of time. It'd be like somebody's interviewing JFK and they're like, "All right, point blank, like, what's up with you and Marilyn Monroe?" Like that question. And he's like, to being honest, he'd have crazy fucking stories. But that's also where like Napoleon would be crazy because he'd be talking shit the whole time.
Right, Napoleon's a good one.
Especially
Winston
like in
Churchill.
exile, especially if it's like in exile and he's getting like ready to try to go back and take it back, go back a second time. That would be like that'd be mad shit talking.
I'm trying to think of like like a dictator who talked the most shit.
I mean, there's like a fascist leader, like someone like a
Right.
Hitler, a
Yeah.
Stalin, but that would
But
be
like, we're not really interested in what those folks have to say.
no, exactly. That'd be for the wrong reasons. But like mad shit talkers, George Washington would be a shit talker because he was a general in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
His leadership is what got him elected president. So he was doing some wild shit.
Well, I guess Jefferson's the one who wrote the Declaration, so he might have
Yeah.
the gift of
Or
gab.
Franklin would be.
Ben Franklin just dropping some. Ooh, Leonardo da
I
Vinci.
was gonna say Da Vinci or like Van Gogh, any of those. I was talking
Oh,
about the
Van Gogh's crazy ass. We don't need to hear that.
no, but it would still be interesting. I was
Da
talking.
Vinci is way more interesting. Dude's like inventing helicopters.
No, I know. I'm saying there's just tons of any like real great artist or thinker from that like Renaissance era would be pretty
Socrates.
crazy. Would be pretty interesting. No, that would be good, but also be kind of like droning and boring. Like it would get you'd be like, okay, dude.
Not really, because like you could like hit them with like a modern
Well,
like
I'm thinking of them like got one podcast episode. Okay, so they're just a guest. Because like if it was like a Van Gogh or a Da Vinci, like, and they're the podcast host, that would be crazy.
what about Einstein?
Maybe I think that'd be like maybe even like no, Einstein would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's because now like you could hit him with like this is what we know now, and then see and have him pontificate on that. But that's why I think like Socrates, like hit us with your philosophy, like given like facts that weren't available to you 2,000 years ago, or whatever.
Okay, big facts. I could see that. I
But
could see that.
you're right with Abe Lincoln though,
Lincoln would be really
or
popular.
Frederick Douglass, like the
Shit
reason why they
talking, you would do like Thomas Edison because he just like stole everybody else's idea and patented
yeah
it.
I don't want
So
to
he'd just be like running his mouth.
yeah yeah I don't have time for Edison. That'd be like saying like oh, Jeff Bezos or something, you know, it's like get the fuck out of here. Or Elon. All right. Therapy question number 2. We didn't say any women, by the way. Like,
Amelia Earhart would be wild. Joan of Arc because she's like
ooh,
crazy in her voices.
Cleopatra,
Cleopatra would be like like city girl shit. She'd be on her city girl shit for sure.
Queen
She'd be
Victoria,
like Mark Anthony. Yeah, I fucked him.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe would be good.
She got the tea. She's got the tea.
She'd probably be like one of the most listened to out of
Yeah,
anybody probably.
and she's got all of this. She fucked Fidel Castro and JFK and RFK.
That would be a wild episode.
Shout out
Into it.
Marilyn.
Into it.
Therapy question number 2. What's the first thing humans do if we discover unicorns are real?
We
I think
capture
you and
and
I,
capture and
I think
kill them.
I think you
People.
and I get into the unicorn semen trade, and we start
Oh,
breeding
most
unicorns.
definitely.
Yeah, for thoroughbred horse racing.
Bringing the rainbow spunk to you, dude. I'd be a unicorn jizz merchant. I almost said that to somebody the other day, where it's like they were like, oh, like how rich, like would you have to be? And it's like I'm like selling horse jizz rich. That's crazy.
I tried to explain this to
I,
somebody too the other day, and
and they're like, huh? I'm like, yeah. You know how much money you have to just like trade in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jars of jizz. That's to hopefully win a race one day. Get out of here. That's
but
stupid money. That's dumb
I was
money. You're
trying to
just
explain
burning
that
it.
you have to be rich in order to get into the horse jizz game, and then when you're in
Yep.
the horse jizz game, you get rich.
Yeah. Once you do
It's,
that, it's like an
it's the
exclusive
catch
club.
22.
It's an
Yeah,
elite club. You're rich, but you're really rich, but you want to get even richer. Join the horse jizz club.
now think now put that on steroids. Unicorn, put it on a like a mythological level. Unicorn racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only thing is, like, you know, like thoroughbred horse racing is dangerous. You know, like not often, but there's been times where like they have to euthanize the horse like on the fucking track. You know, 'cause they break their leg. How many more like horrific injuries when if they fall and they got the horn on their head, dude?
I don't know. I think they'd be magical and they would
I
persevere
think
through their injuries. I don't think you can.
you
I don't
think they
think.
would be magical?
I don't think you could. I think it'd be harder to hurt a unicorn that would instantly become like the apex, whatever the fuck it wants to be. It's a unicorn.
Apex of whatever the fuck it wants to be
If it
in
wants
the
to
animal
eat
kingdom,
plants, yeah, or just in
or
general. If it wants to hunt us,
in the mare community. What is the horse like? Is that like the
it's a
scientific
unicorn.
name?
If a unicorn's like I'm wants to be carnivorous and just eat whatever it wants, it probably could. It's a fucking unicorn. If it would just be flying around fucking shit
A
up.
carnivorous unicorn?
There's that
We are
movie To Kill a Unicorn.
then we are killing them.
Yeah, I think that either way they're going to capture it and study it and see what they can do with it. Somebody's
When you say capture, I say domesticate.
everybody there. I would feel bad if that happened because they're like the world's weird and people are weird. So there's all types of people that exist on this planet, or at least that's how I like to view it. So if
Right.
unicorns exist, there'd be all sorts of. He's off screen right now. There's all sorts of weird stuff that people would want to do to and with unicorns, and whether it be capture them, study them, try to make medicines out of them. There'd be people that would be wanting to try to
Eat 'em.
bang them, eat them. I'd feel
Bang
bad.
'em.
Yeah, you never, dude. There'd be some weird. He's like, I've always like a brony would be like, this is it. That was my chance.
What's a brony?
Those are guys that watch My Little Pony.
What in the fuck? There's large enough of a group of men who watch My Little Pony that they have a nickname like a Swifty.
Yeah, that's been around for
Brony, is that like synonymous with like
bronies.
pedophile or what?
No, it's just guys that were really into My Little Pony. Look it up right now. Look, ask your chat GB17.
Absolutely not. You think
I'll
I'm gonna
look it
put?
up.
You think I'm gonna type brony in my motherfucking algorithm?
Bronies. Bronies are a subculture of adult fans, primarily men, who enjoy the animated TV series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, which ran from 2010 to 2019. It blends bro with pony. Yeah, fandom began shortly after the show premiered in October 2010 on the Hub network.
I thought My Little Pony was like around when we were kids.
Yeah,
It's
and then
that...
they like did it like a reboot.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
So they did a reboot and a rebrand, and a lot of dudes.
Oh,
are into
bronies
it.
are only into the rebrand, not the old one.
I'm sure they're into the old classics as well. That would make sense. I think to be a brony, you'd have to like know your brony history. Yeah, I don't think you could just like. That's like if they redid Babysitters Club books, like you could read them, but you would probably have to go back to know, like, oh, maybe.
If you were gonna claim yourself as like a baby Strony or whatever, but I don't know what the fuck, whatever.
Baby Strony. I'm making you a delicious pasta. It's Baby Strony.
Forget about it.
Shit. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a subculture thing.
The more you know.
Da-da-da-da. They used to play that sound when they would say "the more you know."
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Therapy question number 3. If every decade had a personality, which decade is the most annoying? Let's say, like, since because we are from the United States, let's say, and it's 250 years. This country's been around since the United States has been a country.
Well, it depends. For me, it'd be any time before like the mid to late 80s, probably, because that would just be everybody it'd be the farther back I go, the more collectively racist it would be. So it's like it's not really worth it for me to go too far back.
I said annoying.
80s would be annoying.
Yeah, you said before 80s. I'm like, well, how's the 80s?
Well, no, I was just saying about like just because that'd be annoying. Even if they left me alone, but everybody was just racist and it was like the 50s, that would be really annoying. I'd be like, this is lame. Like they don't hurt me, but like, damn, man. They just punched that other black guy and that was fucked up. He didn't do anything.
I see well, okay. Well, then let me adjust it because before like 1750, race was not a thing. Yeah. Did not exist. It was created by this guy who wrote a book about it, and that's where like being like Caucasian comes from, and like this, and that's like from the Caucasia area. That's like somewhere
the mountains of Caucasus.
Yeah, they're like it's like by like where like Cyprus is, and like and then it was like disproven like quickly that like that study was like flawed, but then people just used it to their advantage. And so anyways, before that,
no, I mean I would say 80s would be rough, 70s and 60s would be rough, the 60s, 70s and 80s. 80s because
let's just take the racism out of it. I just meant who's
no, I'm not even saying they're racist. I'm not even saying racist. I'm like the amount of drugs people were ingesting in those periods of time, the amount of cocaine that was pumping through this country in a recreational social setting that was just acceptable for anybody to do bumps, like it
I'm
was
telling you right now that
in
I guarantee you that
poppers, it'd be
it's more.
it'd be
There's more cocaine
madness.
being consumed right now. You have no idea.
You would be
It's
annoyed because everybody be smacking gum.
bro,
Everybody,
bro. I'm telling you, just as many people are doing cocaine right now in this country, if not more, than they were in the 80s. Just they don't advertise it. Period. End of story. I've yet to met.
so the advertising of it would make it even more annoying.
Yeah, not annoying. I'm
Well,
saying
it would make them
you're
more.
living through it. You think that we're not like
No, I mean I'm not saying that we're not. I'm saying that on a socially acceptable level,
it
the
is.
amount. No, but okay, but I'm saying in that period of time, it would be obnoxious. The 60s and 70s would be a little bit annoying. Um, early night.
I just
I think. Whew.
I just heard. Listen to this. I just heard this story where this girl's on a date and they were talking about like, do you do any like substances? And she was like, like I'll do like bloat like every now and then. And he goes, oh well, that doesn't count. That's just energy. I do that.
Oh wow.
That's what he. It's just energy. Like that's like I'm telling you.
Hmm.
Adam Carolla said it on Loveline like when I was like 13. He was like, I don't buy cocaine. I don't do cocaine. But if I'm in a room and somebody busts out cocaine, and I'm definitely doing it. Dr. Drew like didn't disagree. Like it's like trust. It's since ubiquitous out here. It's
Sh-
like it's like a espresso shot.
That's fair. Saying that'd be annoying. A bunch of coked out people all the time would be annoying.
I I think that
Well, that's
you have
just.
a
I mean, I
you
don't
have a
know.
caricature of it, and I'm saying that you are around a bunch of coked out people all the time. You just don't
Hmm.
realize it.
Well, sometimes I do.
Well, obviously, you could take it too far, but I'm just saying
Not
people
even that.
dabble.
Like, there's signs.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I ran bars and clubs for a while, so I'm not. It's like,
true,
oh,
true, true, true.
yeah,
No, no,
it's like
I mean, you've
a.
told me the story recently, but
Yeah,
it's almost kind of proves my point.
yeah, yeah.
All right, the most annoying decade, I right now
You
since
think? Yeah,
2020, from the pandemic on, Kobe died like to start that 2020 off, and it's been a shit show ever since, bro.
it's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about it that way. That would be pretty annoying.
Yeah, it's been. I think we're all collectively pretty fucking
We're pretty
annoyed right now.
exhausted. And just
I
like,
mean,
oh,
we're not even through it.
yeah, we're not even getting through it. We're all holding out like Iran with the Strait of Hormuz. We're just like, nah, we're just gonna wait this shit out.
Right. But and Iran, like a top 20 listener, it used to be top like 10, but we got so many fucking other countries. But if y'all are listening, they already know this. But for the rest of the world that's listening, Iran's gonna try to like hold the keep this going and going like this because they know Trump has like midterm elections coming up, gas prices, the pressure's gonna be on, blah 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 blah. Except for the Gulf states and the entire like rest of the international community are actively already coming up with ways to where the Strait of Hormuz will not be as vital as it is right now in the future because like you can make pipelines and shit and get the oil out that way. So there's like actually only like a brief like let's say 1 to 2 year period where Iran has this like thing that they can hold us hostage. So it's like it's weird. It's like they're down to drag it out, but only to an extent because they know that this is it's expiring this like leverage that they have with the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, I think it was Chris Christie was like, they're just Jimmy Cartering him. They're just like
Exactly,
holding
exactly.
it out as long as they can because
And
they know it'll
for the
fuck it up.
audience,
And by
for
the
the
yeah, okay,
for
sorry.
the audience, back in 1979, uh, a bunch of revolutionaries in Iran uh, took over the American embassy in Tehran and held a bunch of Americans hostage for I think like a year, like I forget the exact amount of time, but they were trying to get him out, and Ronald Reagan was this committing treason, by the way, uh, behind the scenes because he was running for president, telling the Iranians not to release the hostages because they would get a better deal from him once he became president than was being offered by Jimmy Carter. And as a fuck you, they released the hostages the day that Ronald Reagan was sworn into office.
Yep.
Nixon did the same thing, negotiated with the North Vietnamese and told them not to make a deal with LBJ because he would give them a better deal to end the Vietnam War. Republicans just love committing fucking treason, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Therapy question number 4. If every billionaire had to start over with $100, who gets rich again first?
Probably Bezos, man. I mean, he
Why?
was just he has such a weird kind of grassroots story to him and how he started Amazon to make it as big as it is now, and now it's just like this world superpower that I think that he'd be able not to replicate it, but I think he could get $100 and still like I think he could wind up
He
getting
was
a bunch of
he
his
was
money
like
back.
he was a hedgie before he started Amazon, though.
True, but then he wasn't. But he built Amazon from the ground up.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So like out of his like
I'm
how.
not doubting that,
So
but
that like there's a
but
wherewithal that he has that some of the other guys I don't feel like they have. No, well, yes, he was a hedgy, so he had the money to do it. There's still like a grinder in that I don't think exists with like Elon or some of these other guys.
yeah, I think you're totally correct with that. Like Elon didn't invent Tesla. Elon didn't
Like Bill
invent Twitter.
Bill Gates is somebody who like now he's older, so it'd be difficult. But I could like Bill Gates is an extremely smart person. Like
And did the same thing, created Microsoft from his garage with
yep,
Paul Allen.
yep,
Shout out. He was in my fraternity, Phi Kappa Theta. Uh, and he went to the University of Washington. I think he did, or it's just because Microsoft's in Seattle. But
yeah.
if you go to my fraternity's like fraternity house up at University of Washington, like apparently it's like insanity. It's like fucking giant like compound $100 million house or some shit.
Well, I bet he's got the
I,
money for it.
yeah, but I went. My chapter was in San Diego State, and we're permanently kicked off campus. So shout out.
Yeah, you remember you saying that. What is, like, what? Why are y'all permanently kicked off campus?
I mean, dark alert. Like when I joined, they had been suspended for 2 years. They were the top fraternity, and they were just getting back. And that was the first group back. That's how they kind of convinced me to join. I was never gonna really join a fraternity, but they're like, "You be part of the rebuild." Blah 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 blah. But years later, like I the president of another fraternity was found unresponsive and passed away at our house.
Oh shit!
And it wasn't. It was like the other top fraternity. So it's like kind of like we were like on like
A
already.
probation,
Right.
and
Not even
then
just from the suspension, from that, from other like all sorts of other shit.
damn.
Yeah, but yeah, super sad. Okay. I yeah, Bezos is a good one. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else who's like kind of obvious that, because like it's not Jetson Wong, it's not the CEO of Nvidia. Is Zuckerberg? No, he stole that shit from the
Jay Z.
Winklevoss twins. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Or Dre.
Yeah, they'll just get back in the lab.
T Swift.
Yeah, Swifty. I think a lot of the musical, because they would still have that talent that created that wealth.
Right. Exactly. And how quickly like you can turn that around, to like you just put, you can put out and out and you just meet, the product can be you just go on tour and she made $1 billion on one tour as opposed to like where Bezos needed to like grind for like Amazon went to zero in like the .com crash in the 99 2000 and
Yeah,
then like how long he's been at that, but like T Swift, she's like she picked up a guitar when she was like 14 and then became a millionaire.
yeah. It should be like, oh, that's my
Yeah, that's what it is.
previous eras tour. This is about the eras I went through. I never wrote songs about or
It's
whatever, and people would be like, oh my god.
Jay-Z
Like,
or Taylor Swift for Beyonce, yeah, for sure.
yeah, for sure. But I don't know if Beyonce's worth a billion without Jay-Z
I think she is.
now, but I do think that I think that financially it's been beneficial for her to link up with him because he was already on a trajectory for more. Like, I feel like, he was already doing so many other things that his business savvy allowed her to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
I'm
yeah,
sure it helped, but
yeah,
let's. I mean, I feel not. I mean, the brand Beyonce in and itself, in my opinion, is worth $1 billion. Like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you know,
I'd agree. Is it time for articles?
time for articles.
Alrighty.
See, small government. I also, yeah, yeah, like I hadn't heard about it till you brought it up, and then I saw this graphic where it was like the amount of flock cameras that existed in the United States before Donald Trump's second term, and then since Donald Trump's back in office, how many? And it's just like exponential, you know? And it gets me starting to like, it's like how with the ballroom bunker, fucking, it's like now we're setting up surveillance cameras everywhere. Like that what is Flock the name of the company? Is it an acronym? Yeah, but you need a warrant for that. Yeah, it's crazy. Right. And, I mean, it's literally what China does, but like China does it like literally has like over 1 billion cameras, and then it does that, but China's is way crazy. Like, well, let's not speak too soon because this is probably how it started, but they keep like a social credit score. So it's like if you jaywalk, these cameras are gonna see it, they're gonna fucking deduct you points, and then you might, and it affects your fucking. It's like you j totally. Yeah, like wild. And if they could do that with like 1.5 billion people, and like, and also y'all trust like Trump and Greg Abbott to be like ethical with this shit? Absolutely not. And it's a private company. How are they not going to get hacked? Why is Peter Thiel like probably involved? The fuck? Like Peter Thiel probably like, yeah, just like give me all your flock data and just enter into Palantir and then it's over. Like there's videos, yeah, there's videos out here of like dudes like just straight up uh like sawing off yeah, like in the middle of the day with nobody remotely trying to stop them, if anything, cheering it on. Right, but like just it just shows like it's like yeah, universally like hate it. Who's for this other than the people who work for Flock and a dictator. Well, the mayor of LA asked the head of the LAPD to stop using it because the ICE was trying to access them to for deportations. But but it was weird. Like I didn't read much into it, but how it was phrased, the mayor asks the sheriff to stop using them. Like, why aren't you in charge? I know like LA is like actually run by like a board, a commission, it's like a board that actually makes decisions in California. I mean, California, LA, sorry. I still haven't really seen it. I people talking about it. Right. Well, there is no social credit score yet, but this is how it starts. Well, they would inform you. The whole the whole point is to get you to comply. So China's not keeping it a secret. They probably told them there was a social credit score before they even had the capabilities to like try to do it. Yikes. Or Epstein's Island. Nope. The dressing room at like Miss USA. Yeah, yeah. I is I kind of remember. Was there some uh, uh oh, what was it called? Oh yeah, Hitler Youth. Oh, they do. Tight. Right. Well, I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff like that, like the Easter egg roll, when the kids, stuff like that. But like, this sounds like this is the first time this has ever happened, and it is very odd, like that, like right. And Freedom 250 is Donald Trump's fake ass grifting organization, not to be compared with America 250, which was the bipartisan thing. Yeah, 10 years ago that was supposed to like pool money together for a celebration of our 250th birthday as the United States. But then Trump fucking just like yeah, s- plagiarized it and then did you hear the UFC lost $30 million total? On the one on the White House, yeah. Yeah, I mean that is like chump change for Dana White himself, let alone like the guys who actually bought the UFC, which is like Ari Emanuel. But still, like Like think about all of these dudes, these really rich dudes. I'm including the Saudis. I'm including the United Arab Emirates. I'm including Dana White. Like how Elon, well, Elon actually is the only one who actually came up. He put in $250 million into the campaign, and then became, he's an on again, off again trillionaire. But the rest of them, like Saudi Arabia, you're getting bombed now by like Iran. The Houthis have shut down your motherfucking strait. Like the Strait of Hormuz is shut down. They're bombing the boats in the Suez Canal. You're like fucking like got a blockade. The UAE's getting bombed by Iran. And they gave fucking $500 million to Trump for the crypto for 49% of his crypto company. And it's just like you guys are getting fucked by this dude, and then Dana's got to like break him off $30 million because Trump had a crazy idea to have the UFC like on the White House, and it's such a like was terrible PR. It's like people like me who like I don't like follow the UFC, but it's like yeah, I'll like check like watch it when there's like a big event or if people like my homies are blah blah blah, but it's like and I'm not like now like I hate the UFC, but I bet you there are people who now like won't even consider the UFC just based upon that shit. So it's like was it worth like what you didn't like anybody who already liked the UFC? It's not like that they like I don't know if you gained any fans as that was probably like a net loss. So it's just like, everything Trump touches turns to shit, dude. It's like the opposite of the Midas touch. Like even though he loves gold, that's he like overcompensates with the gold because he everything he touches like just like literally just like fucking he destroys it. That is my only hope because I am super convinced that the ballroom is a bunker, is that he's so incompetent he won't be able to build it fast enough. I, no, no, I don't know. Did he make billionaire status? I mean, he was really rich, but no, yeah, I think there was a he definitely lost a lot of money. There was like a bankruptcy maybe. Mike Lindell, yeah, head of My Pillow. Let's not knock him for being a former meth head. Like, I mean, good for him for yeah, that sounds about right to me. That's like when in the very beginning of the podcast when the producer was here, uh he thought that Jake Paul and Logan Paul were billionaires. I'm like, billionaires? Billionaire was like when or Logan Paul was about to fight like Mayweather. I'm like, billionaires? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Um, but then he yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, because that, I mean, I feel like there was like a weird shift, where like because of Trump and how he just like over exaggerates shit, that like $1 billion like doesn't mean as much to people anymore, you know? I think I kind of brought this up maybe like recently, but it's like when Obama was president, he like gave a $600 million loan to Solyndra, which was like oh, it was it today. Uh, but my point is that but yeah, Obama gave a loan to Solyndra for $600 million. For it was like a green energy company, and it didn't work out, and then Republicans still to this day hold that against his head, like you're picking winners, and you're giving these sweetheart loans to like green energy, and they failed. It was $600 million, and actually it didn't fail. Solyndra now makes money and has repaid the loan, and it's worked out. but it's like gave $600 million to a fucking startup company that Eric Trump's on the board of, like, you know, like, so I just feel like that the numbers, like $1 billion, like, still is a lot of money, and people just don't like. I feel like realize how much money that really is anymore because of Trump's that like just incoherence. You know, he's responsible for 20% of the entire US debt ever. One fifth, but he had doged so that we could cut spending. It's like, bro, you don't give a shit about spending money. Why would you like? Why do you even? Why would you put yourself through that like bad public relation like thing? You know, and they didn't even save any money, but like it's like you give zero fucks like about like how much money you're spending. So why like so stupid? Oh, is this for governor? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because what he was in the executive wing of the White House when they were plotting January 6th. And uh, he gave her I thought an ambassadorship somewhere. No, that's Christine Ohm. Shout out Christine Ohm and Corey Lewandowski still together. Well, no, that's not how that works. Not Donald Trump. You have to go like it, it yeah. I understand that, but it's not just you know uh well there's already a mechanism for this if you feel like that the you've been prosecuted like wrongly, yeah, unjustly, by yeah, there's already, yeah, and Todd Blanche in order to get fucking confirmed by your shitty ass outgoing senator and uh yeah, yeah, you know, and the Blanche's was like, yeah, we'll get rid of the slush fund. It's like as if they can't just bring it back. As insane, dude. Yeah, yeah. How about the fact that was mandated by law and a unanimous vote by the United States Senate to release the Epstein files, and he still hasn't? Is that not disqualifying? Yeah, 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 yeah. Where she has a pet now. It was $100, but yeah, that's a good one. But Warren Buffett's retired now. No, no, it's not. I didn't even have a credit card until I was like 34, dude. Uh, yeah, no, I don't. No, no. The only debt I have is that I my student loan. It's less than $4,000, and like I purposefully haven't paid it off because I thought I was gonna get forgiven under Biden, and I'd be like an idiot. Like I could have paid it off, 1,000 times, but then I dropped 4 G's, and then Biden's like, oh, it's forgiven. I feel like an asshole. But it's like, and the interest on it is like 3%. So I just pay that like monthly, but it's like on. And I was trying to explain this to somebody, like debt isn't necessarily bad, it's leverage. It's like if it just depends what you're doing with the debt. It's like if you're going into debt to like buy like cigarettes, well, no. But like if you're borrowing money like as an investment, um then and at a decent rate, then it makes sense. But yeah, this credit card debt is a problem. I just was listening to, it was either PBS NewsHour or NPR. They're talking about this exact same thing, how like it's like skyrocketed like recently, and it's like because like the interest rates on these cards are going like out of control, like some of them like up to like 30% and shit. I'll race you for pink slips, homie. I see. I thought you meant like as your main vehicle. I'm like, what are we doing here, bro? Didn't you just buy a house? Why are we getting a $1,000 truck? But no, no, no. I get it. It's for. I just I didn't want you be driving to fucking work. Gotcha. Z71, Z71. I full on total. I totaled a Suburban Z71 and knocked out the power of an entire neighborhood on Valentine's Day once. I was on my way to try. I was actually on my way to go over to Mallory's to make out with her right before I went to hockey practice, and it was raining, and the back lost control, and the pole went all the way through the engine. Had it like right dead center of the Suburban. Had it been like to the left, whoa, and then explode through the yeah, and then it exploded at the top, and like half of it like broke off and was like dangling like above the Suburban, and all the lights went out. It was not it was Myers Meadows. Is that a not Myers Meadows? It's not. What's the neighborhood that was next to your neighborhood? Yeah, yeah, on the way to Mallers. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was crazy. I went to teen court, and she tried to say why were you going this fast, like when like the road is like all gravelly, and she had like a picture of it, and like the picture was from the Suburban at the tow yard, And I'm like, that's not the road that I was on. That's from the tow yard. Like it was a normal road. It, and yeah, I was found not guilty. They tried to say that I had been drinking, but never gave me a breathalyzer and just had my parents pick me up. And then I went to teen court. Yeah. I remember like they were doing that. Like they if you were under 21, like in Texas, they said that they if they just smelled it, then they could just claim it. That happened to me 3 different times and I got off all 3 times. 2 of the times were about the same motherfucker. Yeah, and my lawyer brought that up in the like I took it to trial. And that remember what's her name? Our assistant principal, the woman, Miss Warner. Yeah, I got her on the subpoenaed her, got her on the witness stand, and she because she was there and she put her nose in my mouth and smelled it. And she's like, it smells like Skittles. We're at the football game that was being filmed by ESPN. And so anyways, uh yeah. And then she told the jury, yeah, no, I didn't smell any alcohol in his breath. And I was found not guilty by a jury of my peers. Right, but they'd already given me AEP, alternative education program, uh before so because like it took a while for the court date or whatever, and she would come and get me. So I would have to go to I would have to show up at school like earlier than everybody and then leave at a different time and stay in one room so I didn't ever see anybody for 60 days or something. 45 days, 60 days. But she felt so bad, like she would come and get me out and like walk me around like the school like and stuff. I've read a lot of books. Yeah, that was crazy. No, come on,
No, I'm
bro.
just being dramatic. I'm being hyperbolic. But that is interesting just to see that it's like just like pushing and climbing and climbing and climbing. It's going to set a new record, which was set in the fourth quarter last year. So what is it going to look like in the fourth quarter this year? Um, yeah, it's just a lot. You know, people are struggling out here. But hey, we got the U.S. Youth Games going on, brought to you by Freedom 250. So lighten up. Go watch Trump give a bunch of teenage kids checks. That'll be great.
I thought we can't.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, I guess we can't. It's just allegedly it's happening. Supposedly somewhere in Geneva, Ohio, wherever the fuck that is. You'd think you'd have it at like the L.A. Coliseum. You would make a big production out of it. If you're gonna grift right. Like get a lot.
Well,
Do the Kawhi Leonard route. Like do grift hard. Don't.
fuck you, Kawhi Leonard, San Diego State representative, dude. No, 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 no. LA representative.
Have you heard anything about the shit that's going on with him right now?
No,
So
I've just used to party with him down in San Diego.
so
Like he was going there when I was there.
Kawhi Leonard is in a shit ton of trouble. He was traded from the Clippers to the Raptors, but that trade is now on pause pending an investigation because he is accused of him and Steve Ballmer circumventing the salary cap rules. So basically what he did is Steve Ballmer set up this green energy company called Ascension. They went defunct, they're bankrupt, they don't exist anymore, but they signed Kawhi Leonard to a $28 million endorsement deal where he didn't do anything. He didn't show up for anything. They just gave him $28 million. And Steve Ballmer was a key investor in Ascension. Then now there's Ditropics. It's this big. They built the big screen, the Halo big screen in L.A. Intuit Stadium. They built a bunch of big screens. They're also defunct. Steve Ballmer was one of the primary investors, and then later on he invested another $10 million. They allegedly have signed a deal based off of this reporting done by Pablo Torre. It's really good. It's like a 13-part thing.
Shout out Pablo Torre.
Yeah, it's really good. He they've found another no-show endorsement deal. They don't know what for, but it was with Dytronics, and it was like he was an official sponsor, but it was never released, never talked about. It's like, what did you do to earn this money to endorse this company? And Steve, there's like weird wire transfer stuff because Steve Ballmer got in trouble back in the day with the Clippers with DeAndre Jordan. He tried to get DeAndre Jordan a deal as being a sponsor for Lexus, but Lexus is a sponsor of the Clippers, and you can't do that, right? So it's like they're paying you money when they can't pay you that money. So he got fined like $250,000 for that. So
wow.
But I mean, so Kawhi Leonard, at least at the minimum, what we know, has probably made anywhere from like 50 million or more in circumventing the salary cap. So getting paid through fake shell companies or these random one-off energy brands or deal jumbotron builders, where the guy who owned the jumbotron companies in federal prison for 14 years for wire fraud and tax evasion. So the guy who signed him to this deal is now in federal prison, but allegedly it'd be the largest salary cap circumvention in sports history. So Kawhi Leonard got paid $50+ million under the table by Steve Ballmer through these other companies, which is a major violation of.
It sounds like what it sounds like. It's like
He's probably going to get suspended for like a year or two at least.
Before the NIL and college sports, like before they could make money, it was kind of like they give you a job like at a car dealership, and you just never
it's
show
past
up.
that because the CBA,
No, but you
the
know what I'm
salary
saying.
caps. I know, I get that, but like that's like paying somebody under the table to play for you. Like the ramifications for this are way greater because the CBA is something that's collectively bargained. Those guys all split their money. It's like a profit share. They split all the TV deals down the middle, split it equal ways like the NFL
CBA
does.
stands for collective bargaining agreement. It's between the players and the owners, and yes, for the NBA it's a 50-50 split of revenue share.
Yeah. So it's a really big deal to circumvent that is like super taboo. And he signed
He's circumventing the salary cap.
He signed after he got traded, played that year, signed a max contract, then re-signed another max contract. Like he's had 3 contract signs for almost $300 million since he's been on the Clippers, and he's still got the Clippers paying him under the table an extra 50 plus. It's crazy. So this is like a can of worms that when it opens and they go through this investigation is how many other people in sports have done things like this. So it's forcing a very awkward, tough conversation. But Kawhi, that's the reason why he's not on the Raptors. He's just stuck on the Clippers right now. And because the Raptors vetoed the trade because they was like, hey, just a heads up, if you guys do this, do that at your own risk.
The last I heard was that he got traded. I hadn't heard about any of that.
Yeah. Steve Ballmer's probably going to get suspended for being at games for a while. I don't think they'll strip him of his ownership, but they might. Kawhi Leonard's, no matter, and their Clippers are going to lose draft picks for sure. They're going to be in purgatory for a little while. And then
There's no way they're gonna take it to ownership because he's how much Donald Sterling was the owner and how much of a fucking mess that was just to get Steve Ballmer to become the owner. Steve Ballmer's done a lot.
Oh, he's a super fan. He's like the biggest.
Well, he's also built an entire new stadium for the Clippers.
Yeah, so he's probably going to not be allowed to be seen publicly at games for quite a while.
Repercussions for sure.
I'm just saying. I said he's probably not, but he could. If he did this with more than one person, if it comes out that Steve Ballmer's been doing this since he took over the Clippers to try to make them good, and this dude's passed out because he's the richest owner in American sports.
But the other owners are the ones who would have to do it, and they don't want to set a precedent.
No, that's what. If that's what you're doing for Kawhi Leonard, how many other? That's what I'm saying. It just forces the question of like how many other times has this happened in other places?
That's what I'm saying.
What level of player would you do this for? Because there's a year where he signed that deal with the Dytropics place or whatever, and he took less money in his deal, but then he demanded the trade for Paul George. So he took less money, demanded them get rid of all their picks and all this stuff, including Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, to get Paul George to come out to the Clippers, and he took less money. So did they just pay him more money under the table? And that's why he took less to bring in Paul George. That's just where it creates all these things. But that's a big deal right now in the sports world. That dude's in fucking trouble. I would highly suggest you look into Pablo Finds Out. That's the name of his podcast. Shout out. And there's a whole series on it. It's extremely interesting and very fucking shady. And I will tell you, like, you know, you partied with them and stuff. Kawhi Leonard likes his money. That's just what I'd say. It is very obvious because there's at one point.
Meanwhile, Shohei Ohtani could sign a 7-year, $700 million contract. Delay it 10 years. Or
Yeah, but the Dodgers. There's a period of time where the Dodgers owner wasn't paying anybody, and right now IOUs because he was waiting to finish a TV deal with Fox News. I think that's the owner before Magic Johnson bought it. That was the previous ownership before Magic Johnson. It's not even Magic, but currently now the Dodgers owner, who also now owns the Lakers, is under federal investigation for getting fraudulent federal loans, like in the billions of dollars. Like I hear everybody thought like this guy's like a fucking genius. Like he's got the Dodgers running like on all cylinders. Like this guy is like God out here. Because like the Frank McCourt was the fucking Dodgers owner before, and he was just like he sucked, dude. Like I think that's what I said. He had a press conference where he was explaining when he was going to pay the players because the players were getting pissed they weren't getting paid.
Right.
And he was like, well, I just got to sign this deal. I just got to hammer out this TV deal, and then everybody's going to get paid. Everybody chill out. And he was just being a dick at negotiating and got $2 billion. And then it was just like, here you go.
When they sold it, I think he kept the rights to the parking lot. So
yeah.
Or at least, yeah. So he still gets paid on the fucking parking. Okay.
Got anything else?
Yeah. Meditate, bitches.
Make sure y'all like, retweet, post, whatever the fuck. We just appreciate y'all checking us out and listening. Make sure you do hit that like button if you love Jesus. Do not forget. Always. But no, y'all just be good, be safe, stay out of trouble, and like always, go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.